everyone, Fuchsia here with another look at Go-Go Town. Today we have the very first playtest for this game, so I'm really excited to check it out with you. We're going to do a sped up playthrough developing a town from scratch, and there are a lot of new features from the demo that weren't in the demo that we're going to see, including this brand new changeotron that lets you change your features at will. We still don't have full character customization. That will be coming, but so that we don't have to reset our game 100 times to get a look we like, we have this changeotron, and it gives you an opportunity to see all these different styles that already exist in the game. This playtest really focuses on the beginning of the game, going to a brand new town and developing it. We also have new features like this phone that has the Townpedia, little guides about things. It has a map. It has the ability to customize the UI how you want it. You can put up a clock, you can put up a mini map, you can move the to-do list to another location if you like. So really great addition, especially if you want to read more in the Townpedia about how to do things. It's great. Here, we don't even have a functional train station yet, so we have to go around and gather materials to rebuild the train station, because the whole point of Go-Go Town is that we want tourists to come and we want people to move in, and we need a train to do that. So here we have our first train, and we have 2 tourists come, and we need to make some money and some ego with them. So here I am just waiting for ego to come in and money. And we have our first visitor who wants to move in, Baldo. Now we have to build an apartment building for him, build a house. In the super early pre-alpha demo, we already had a house built for the townies. So again, we're seeing very, very beginning. Here also in this playtest, we have the ego tech tree. We generate ego depending on like the tourists enjoying what we put out into the town for them to interact with, and we spend that ego in the tech tree to unlock different things like the chainsaw and the power drill and farming and all these different things that in the demo we already had access to. Now we have to unlock them. So we get a lot more feel for the actual gameplay, how things are going to work. So it was a really nice change to see this beginning of game setup. And of course, I have my rainbow unicorn bike because, of course, I do. Yeah, we're choosing the fit out, and we only have 1 downy, so Baldo gets to work there. We're gonna stock it and get the shop up and running. Here I'm unlocking more things. I know the speed on the video is pretty quick, but honestly, this is about 4 hours of gameplay sped up, so I didn't want you to have to sit through a 4-hour video to see all that this playtest has to offer. But of course, you can always use the YouTube tools to slow it down to a pace that you want to watch. I do like how the character already has a pretty silly walk, but it just looks so much sillier when it's sped up to this speed. I mean, just there's a lot of clutter around the town that we have to clear out, which we didn't really have to do much. We did a little in the demo, but here we really have a lot more to clear out, and we have a lot more to unlock. All these different shop types are unlocked through different tiers of the ego tree. Also, foraging for seeds is a huge thing in this playtest, which wasn't really a thing in the demo. You do actually have to go to the bushes and forage for seeds to be able to plot things, to be able to plant things in the plots. You also can't hire someone, a farmhand, right away. So you'll notice I kind of forgot to water the plots myself there. But don't worry, I go back eventually. Also, one essential feature that is in this playtest that we needed and didn't have in the demo is that you can move and delete things, which is great. Love to see it. I use that feature a lot during this playthrough, you'll notice. Here's Sirloin coming in to move in. I will say, you'll notice that there will be ghosts coming on the trains, but if you saw the demo, there's a lot of different occult villagers that can move in and visit. There's ghosts, werewolves, mummies, and they're not able to be moved in at this build of the playtest, but that is a fix that they're working on. So if you are playing this playtest after this video goes up, you might have that fix. Hopefully they can put that in, because that is a feature that they definitely want in the game, and it just didn't make it into this build. I got early access to the playtest, so I'm playing a version that has had some fixes and improvements since then. Again, one of the things I love about being able to play this game so early on and being in the Prideful Sloth Discord is that they are very communicative and they are very interested in what we want to see in the game, and they are responding to all our bugs, all our questions, and it's been really great to be a part of that and to see them care so much. So there are 9 tiers in the tech tree of things to unlock, and they become more and more expensive as you go along, as you might imagine. Whereas one of the first things I used to do in the demo was um build the garbage disposal. I couldn't do that right away, so trash was just collecting for a little while. But we have that now, but we still can't hire anyone. So that's a change, that now we built the garbage disposal, but we have to build something else so that we can hire someone to work as a maintenance worker. At this point, I still actually can't hire anyone, so I'm just trying to get ego so I can unlock those things in the tech tree. And there are definitely different ways to unlock to play, so that you can, like, if you want to build ego generating things first, so you can be very ego heavy and unlock the tech tree all all immediately, that's definitely one thing that you can do. Or you can decide that you want to micromanage everything yourself and take care of all the supplies. There's a ghosty and all of that yourself, and then don't focus on ego and you'd rather do town decorating, which is kind of what I go for. But having helpers in this game, I mean, that's what this game is all about, is hiring and micromanaging. So like that's one of the features. So I get to that eventually, but I'm also like I want to figure out what I'm doing with this town first. Also, if you're wondering, the stall by the train station, you can sell almost anything that you have extras of at that stall, and tourists will just come and buy them, which I found really useful when I had way too many of one thing from a farm that I didn't need anymore or didn't need it yet, and the farm was just generating it. So that's a really nice addition. There, I set up a noodle bar, forgetting that I didn't even have fishing set up yet. So we have some cute little apartment buildings. We're gonna make a little yard for them eventually, and just make this a nice place to live and shop. Look at all those tourists come in. Sakura wants to move in. Sandra, some familiar names the from the demo. Now, the plants in the garden do eventually die out, both from harvesting them a number of times and also from not watering them. So that's one of the things that you have to keep an eye on. It's also one of the reasons why it's super helpful to hire a farmhand or two as early as you can, because if you miss a watering check, I guess, then they can die out, and we don't want that to happen. So now I can finally hire a farmhand and get a cow. The town in this playtest is massive. I don't know if you're getting a feel for it, but it's so much bigger than the demo town. And honestly, it was pretty hard to fill it all and also keep things running smoothly as we go further into playing on this save. Which is another thing I should mention. There is actually saving in the playtest. There was no saving in the demo, but now there is saving, so you can come back to it later if you want. Also, there are a few bugs that are still being worked out that are easily fixed by saving, quitting, and reloading. So if you are playing and you get like get the stinky bugs from walking over trash, sometimes they stick around. If they don't go away, you can just save and reload, and they'll go away, which is nice. Now we can finally hire someone to work collecting garbage for the town. And we have to build that maintenance office now. Also, one of the things I like is that you can now go into the inventory of the shops and see exactly what is needed for which recipe. I really like that change. I really like that change. That is super helpful. Now we can hire someone to fish for us. Just constantly restocking those shops. I will say, keeping the shops restocked is the challenge now. Building the town, not so much. Keeping the shops restocked is where the challenge is here in this playtest. It feels like an actual game with challenges now, not just the demo was nice, but it was a demo. It's supposed to be, fairly easy and just give you a feel for the actual gameplay. But now the challenge is keeping things stocked and using that to make money to build more, to keep those stocked. So here I can see that I have too many carrots and not enough of something else to make the other drink. So that's why it's really nice that I can see the different quantities of what's needed for the different recipes. I really like that change. Now we can finally build a courier building and help with keeping things stocked. Move in some townies, make sure they have houses because they will not actually work until they have houses. We need more decorations for the town, obviously. And of course, don't forget to hire the couriers for specific days. That is still a feature that carried over from the demo. So you will assign them as couriers, but then you have to pay them individually per day. So don't forget to do that. Here I'm just moving in everyone so I can make sure that I have plenty of people to work. So I phoned home. It'll be a while before that shows up. If you saw that in the demo, you know what's coming, but it's a while before it shows up. It actually surprised me how long it took, but it will eventually. Finally hiring a miner. Miners, not minors. We don't support child labor here. Also, Galaxy Quest. Amazing movie. We have our robot Rusty moving in. Still waiting. Still waiting. Just checking in. And now we have 3 couriers, so hopefully things will stay stocked pretty well now. We're starting to get into the automation part of Go-Go Town. And here I'm just gonna make a little park. I really like how this came out. Just a little simple just a little simple park with the hot dog stand. But I'm still waiting for Ian to show up so I can hire him for this hot dog stand. There he is. I'm totally a human. And whereas in the demo, the hot dog stand comes pre-stocked, it does not here. So we have to plant some eggplant and make some hot dogs. And while we're at it, why don't we redecorate the town, the farm a little, rearrange things. And you can see now there's small shops, medium shops, and large shops, and now there's just all those different types of shops I've unlocked, which is nice that we can make all these different things now. And we're up to unlocking the last tier of the tech tree. As it stands right now in this playtest, I'm sure there's going to be more added in. I like to hire Sirloin as a farmhand because he continues wearing his hat. It's a tragedy that if you hire him for like the art gallery or the arcade or something, he then wears a different hat as part of that uniform. So he is a farmhand, so he can keep his marvelous hat. And here I have a lot of big items to bring to that shop, so we're gonna load up the truck. And then the courier stole the parking spot for the truck, so I had to leave it outside. Right here, I'm like, what do I need? What have I not planted? There's Sirloin coming over right away toward them. What a good help. And then I built it. I was like, oh no, it's in the wrong, like it's blocking the view. Let's move it immediately. Ignore that grass. We'll get the grass cutter and take care of it in a bit. But it's one of those fun things that I moved it after it was built. Here we go, the last of the tech tree. The three couriers just standing literally in a pile together concerned me. So it's like, let me run you over with my unicorn, see if you move, but they just went right back. But they do go back to working in the morning. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I guess if they don't want to go home and sleep, they can just hang out there, I suppose. And then I was like, oh, this one's really cute. Let's move this one. Um, this one's cute enough to go actually in town and not in the housing area where the tourists don't go. tourists are able to see the cute houses. So the appearance of the apartments and the other buildings, they are to an extent random. So you can tear them down and rebuild them if you're trying for a certain look. I know one of my friends, Mushykins, has been doing that a lot and kind of running out of bricks and everything, trying to get specific ones for a look. Um, for this, I just let whatever happen, but then I was like, if I like something, I'm gonna move it to where it works really well. So I prefer, obviously, to ride the unicorn tricycle all around, but sometimes I need the storage of this big truck, especially when I accidentally build the restaurant way far on the opposite side of town. If you're going for efficiency, do not go by what I do, because I am not efficient at all. And it doesn't really translate in this sped up video. Again, this is 8 times speed, but the trucks are very slow. I like going fast. So that's another reason I don't like the trucks. I love the unicorn tricycle. It's super fast. But I can't store a lot in my backpack, so the truck is useful for those reasons. Here we're finally gonna get into some terraforming, and I leave this until most of the town is built up, and I leave the paving the roads and everything until then to really give it the polished, finished look for the town. So you can do this early on, but just thematically, it made sense to me to wait until I had um I had developed the town and made money, you know? I really like decorating the outdoor spaces in this game because it's me. Of course I do. Um, there is not a lot of variety for decorations in the playtest, but they're going to be adding so much. So you really have to be creative with reusing the same things over and over in the playtest. I think I did a pretty good job of it though. I do like how things came out in the final run, but I cannot wait until later versions of the game where there are so many more decorations. I'm still trying to figure out what I want my farm to look like. When I did my first playthrough of this playtest of this build, I put out all the plots I could, and I had like two of every kind of fruit and vegetable growing. And I realized that I didn't need that for this level of play. Might need that later in later builds and later playtests and when the game releases, but right now it didn't need that. So the farm is a lot smaller in this build, and I'm still trying to figure out how I want to decorate it, how I want to configure it to make it look really nice. Here we're just going around with the mowing machine, just trimming all the grass and cleaning up the town. Right now, if you save and reload the game, all the big fluffy grass pops up again. So if you reload, you have to trim it all again, unless you like the look. But I wanted to make a nice polished town for a run through at the end of the video. So that that was a little annoying if on the couple of occasions that I was like, okay, I'm ready, and then I would reload and there would be grass again. Here I'm just like, I have way too much bread and too much of this stuff taking up space in the farm. Let's sell it all. Now I can park it where it belongs. Yeah, we now have crosswalks. Very important. Keep the townies and the tourists safe. Just ignore all the times I run them over with my bike. In the demo, they wouldn't cross the streets except on the crosswalk, and they do in this playtest. I wonder if that's something that's going to be reverted in the future, because I did like that as a feature, but also you don't unlock the terraforming right away, so townies wouldn't be able to walk around. I suppose it's necessary, but I do like that. I did like that the townies would only cross on the crosswalks before. Although they do tend to walk on the crosswalks if they're there. So here we've got just like this little residential area. It's the townies who aren't, well off enough to actually live in the hustle bustle of the city. And here we're in our wonderful grapple ride, ready to take a tour of the town. You ready to see what it looks like all finished up? Here's the farm. Sorry, cow. Let's get a high five there. Nope. No high five for us. Sirloin did not want a high five. And it's just a cute little town. Like the housing area. Come back and hit that poor tourist again. Sorry. A little outdoor area for the art gallery and just some cute little yards. I love the park. And that's gonna be it. So thank you for watching. I hope you are excited for this game. What are you most excited about? What change do you love to see? I will catch you later. Have a magical, wonderful day.